Hello, welcome back to the Nook. I'm Daniel, and today I'll be reviewing this book here, Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is a big book. So this is book 2 in the Stormlight Archive, book 1 being The Way of Kings. And before I get into my spoiler-free review, I'm just going to say this will be my last video until the new year. It's going to be really busy with Christmas, and then New Year's is coming, so probably a couple days into January, I'll be doing a new video. So this will be our last one for this year until the new year. So yeah, let me just get right into the back description of this book, just to give you an idea of what it's about. It says, the knights radiant must stand again. The ancient oaths have at last been spoken. The spren return. Men seek what was lost. I fear the quest will destroy them. It is the nature of the magic. A broken soul has cracks into which something else can be fit. Surge bindings, the power of creation themselves. They can brace a broken soul, but they can also widen its fissures. The Windrunner is lost in a shattered land, balanced upon the boundary between vengeance and honor. The Light Weaver, slowly being consumed by her past, searches for the lie that she must become. The Bondsmith, born in blood and death, now strives to rebuild what was destroyed. The Explorer, straddling the fates of two peoples, is forced to choose between slow death and a terrible betrayal of all she believes. It is past time for them to awaken, for the Everstorm looms, and the assassin has arrived. So this book actually looks a lot bigger, but it's smaller. It's actually shorter than The Way of Kings. The Way of Kings looks smaller because it's a paperback. This is a hardcover. And so this book is only about 1,080 pages. Way of Kings was like 1,300. But I would say where Way of Kings has a lot of setup for the series, Words of Radiance is the payoff where a lot's going on. I would say Words of Radiance is just a better book anyway, and one of the best in the Stormlight Archive. So the other books are, of course, there's Oathbringer, Rhythm of War, and Wind and Truth just came out. So I will likely be reviewing the other books within the next year, because it takes a while to get through these. And just to let you know what I'm reading now, I'm actually reading Edge Dancer, which is a novella that takes place in between books 2 and 3. So I will review Edge Dancer and Oathbringer, book 3, and I'll just review the entire series as I read them. So this is my second time reading Words of Radiance, and I mean, it's truly amazing. So again, we're following Dalinar, he's the bondsmith, and then we're following Adolin, his son, Shallan, and Kaladin. And I just love all these characters. Kaladin's my favorite. He's just a great main character. And you really get to see more of his life, where he's dealing a lot with his trauma, his mental health issues, and just his powers, because he does have power. He can draw in stormlight and glow. And you get to see more of his camaraderie with Bridge 4. That's the slave group that would carry bridges across the chasms, and they were freed in book 1. And in this book, they're his guards, and they're looking after the king, because there's these assassination attempts that are happening to kill King Elhokar. So yeah, there's some really good moments with Bridge 4. Again, this assassin shows up, and let's just say, without spoiling anything, there is an epic battle between Kaladin and the assassin. I don't want to say too much more, but it was really epic and good. And this series just keeps getting better. The funny thing is, people don't like Oathbringer. Fans of Sanderson say that the third book, Oathbringer, is kind of weaker. Some people did like Rhythm of War. I thought Oathbringer was great, and I thought Rhythm of War was good too. So I'll be very interested to see how Wind and Truth is. But for this book, yeah, like I said, it follows Kaladin, Shallan, and Shallan, you get to see more of her powers. What's really cool about Shallan's arc in this particular story is you really get to see her past. So Shallan is a very cheerful person. She's always has witty banter and everything, so you'd think she had a nice past, but no. What happens, there's this beautiful scene where Kaladin and Shallan end up spending time together, trying to survive in a chasm that they fall into, and he learns about her past, and she had a terrible childhood, a very abusive father, and a lot of things that happened with her father that were not good, and she kind of has to learn to deal with it. And she also has these powers, so like Kaladin, she can kind of draw in stormlight, but Shallan is a light weaver. So what that means is she can use her stormlight power to, and she's an artist, she draws, so she draws a different version of herself, and she breathes in the stormlight and becomes a disguise, basically. There's this other personality named Vale. So as Vale, she's finding things out to do with a scholar that she was with before named Yasna. And a lot of stuff happened with Yasna in book 1, and book 2 is kind of the fallout of that. So yeah, so Shallan's a light weaver. Kaladin, you find out he's oh man, I can't remember what Kaladin is. He's a wind runner, I think. He's a wind runner. He can fly through the skies with stormlight. Yeah, so I loved what I saw of Shallan and Kaladin and Adolin. Some people don't like Adolin as much. He's sort of the stuck-up prince, the son of the High Prince Dalinar. He has a lot of girlfriends in the beginning of the first book where he keeps trying on relationships. And I guess it's not a spoiler to say he does end up in a relationship with Shallan. And what happens is he was betrothed to her before they'd even met. And then they met and they realized they are into each other. They're attracted to each other, and they do have a good relationship that builds up. Some people don't care for Adolin, but I think he's a fine character, and he kind of begrudgingly becomes better friends with Kaladin. Kaladin kind of sees Adolin as a stuck-up whatever, but Adolin and Kaladin do end up kind of developing a bit of a friendship, a bit of a bro thing. So yeah, all in all, this was a great book. Sanderson always does this thing with his endings. The fans call it a Sanderlanche, where it's the big climax at the end. And I really don't want to spoil what happens at the end, but it is quite big. And the thing is, continues throughout the series with Oathbringer as well. You get some really good climaxes, Rhythm of War as well. And I'm really stoked for Wind of Truth, which I will be finishing sometime next year. So again, I highly recommend this book, but you do need to read book 1, obviously. So if you can get through book 1, which is a bit slower, book 2 is a lot faster paced. It's really good. It's epic. There's lots of battle. And it's just really great characters. Sanderson has really good world building and really good character work. So yeah, that's about all I could say about it. Remember to like and subscribe. And until I see you next year, you're always welcome at the Nook. Bye.